What's up, YouTube? It's EarthEagleGT with,
Hey guys, what's up? It's Sermo11 here.
and we're doing a season 3 review of Steven Universe. Now, we both have been doing like our equal reviews on each of our channels, so you can check it out on his channel and my own channel. So definitely check that out. We both have different outlooks and how we perceive the episodes. So very interesting if you want to check those out. And yeah, Sermel came up to me, and we've done a bunch of videos in the past, and he was like, let's do a season 3 review of Steven Universe. So now we're here.
Yeah, I think the last one we did was over Gravity Falls.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully we can do more discussions like this because they're definitely fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I can get started, right?
Yep.
So season 3 of Steven Universe started off with the event Into Deep, and then it ended with the Summer of Steven, which has been going on for the last few months. I thought in Into Deep it was going to be super dramatic based off of the title, but it really wasn't. They made it seem like they were building up to something extreme, and then it ended up being very anticlimactic. And this season was good all the way through, though. I really enjoyed it, and there was rarely any episode that I didn't like in some way.
Mm-hmm. Same. I feel the same. Like, it's for me. I think this season is the most story driven out of all the 3 seasons combined.
Most definitely.
The first season was kind of more of an introduction, and then that latter half of that first season really like amped up when we learned about like Ruby and Sapphire. Then that second season was kind of like dealing with a lot of the stuff we learned the first season, and this third season's kind of like taking everything we know and now putting it into action. Because now they're trying to stop the I can't remember the cluster.
Mm-hmm.
And well, at least at the beginning of the season, they're trying to stop the cluster, and then it kind of, after they do that, it turns into more of like character pieces. Like now, a bunch of these characters are getting their own little episodes and progressing and growing as characters too. So I really, yeah, this is definitely my favorite season out of all 3.
Yeah, you can't quote me on this, but I think in season 1 it was more like them going on missions and then more adventures around the town, and then it kind of built up to the whole season finale and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're done with that part, I guess I can go into the summary.
Yep.
So the season shows the return of Jasper and Lapis in the form of Malachite. They end up getting defeated. The gems save Lapis, and Steven and Peridot head to the cluster. Steven actually ends up bubbling the cluster, and the group of rubies come to Earth looking for Jasper. The gems direct the rubies to Neptune. Then there were some episodes focusing on people in the town.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought these episodes were needed since the show has been doing a lot of plot lines back to back to back.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we see that Steven's healing powers return, and he tries to heal the centipedal, who becomes somewhat more human-like for a little bit. She couldn't speak, but she could draw, and her drawings directed the gems to her friends, and she was taken there while she slowly transformed back into, I guess, a corrupted gem or like some form of monster or something. And then Jasper ends up returning here and there, and we see that Jasper wants to see Lapis again, and Jasper is making an army of gem monsters, and she ends up fighting Amethyst. Then Amethyst becomes obsessed with fighting Jasper and is also upset that Steven has become stronger than her, and then she ends up rescuing Connie. And then Steven goes inside Lion. He ends up accidentally freeing a gem, and this window came up. He ends up freeing a gem by the name of Bismuth, and Bismuth was in the war with his mom, and Bismuth wanted to use a weapon to break gems, and she ended up getting bubbled by Rose. And she tries to attack Steven, who ends up stabbing her and bubbling her just like his mom did. So Steven, Peridot, and Amethyst go to Jasper's kindergarten, and they find her there with her gem army. She ends up fighting Amethyst again, and Amethyst loses just like the last time. But Steven is there to comfort her, and this leads to a new fusion called Smoky Quartz. Jasper fuses with a gem mutant, but ends up getting defeated, and we learn that Jasper's diamond is actually Pink Diamond, and Rose shattered her. And it turns out that the rubies are back at the farm. Amethyst pretends to be Jasper, who the rubies look up to, and they end up going to the moon base, but the communication to Homeworld is gone. Check season 2. And the rubies find out that they've been tricked, and Steven sends them off into space. But he ends up getting pulled by one of the rubies into space, and he has to bubble himself for safety. one of the rubies tries to kill him, so he can't protect her, and he's left to wander into space until the gems find him, and that's season 3.
Yeah. I guess
So-
we could just go into, I guess, our thoughts real quick of this season, because yeah, you pretty much you got it, the whole thing. And Jasper also got infected when she fused, so now she's in
The temple.
the temple as bubbled with a bunch of the other gems that they've caught. So
But I think she's gonna come back.
I think she will, because we know where she is. We know where Bismuth is, and we know
Bismuth again.
I mean
Myth.
Muth. No, it's Muth. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
I thought it
forget
was
how they said
Bismuth.
it. I think you're right though. I'm probably wrong. I kept messing up on my video how to pronounce it too.
Lapras.
Okay, we don't need to start there. That was a Pokemon Go had me. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this season, especially the last half of this season where it really, ramped up, and it even makes sense more. Just going into one specific episode, why Bismuth wanted to break gems. It makes sense that why she had this theory, because she probably saw Rose Quartz break Pink Diamond, which at the time it was kind of like, why would she even talk to Rose about this? But I guess in the context that we learn later on in the season, that makes the reason why she would want to do that. And yeah, I hope she comes back. I hope Jasper comes back, and I hope Centipede comes back. And the rubies lost in the space. I don't know how they're gonna. I feel like they're gonna all appear. I don't know how they're gonna get each one, because they kind of all went their own separate ways to drift off into space. And you think the crystal gems would try to go find them, but I guess not. So
I don't know. I feel like the rubies, like, they're really stupid, but then it's just like they're almost like villains in a way, or kind of in the middle, because like they're like, hey, you guys want to ride back, and they're like, what? And then Amethyst is like in her actual form or something, and then they start to attack them, and they're kind of like villains in a way.
yeah, they're like villains, but they're children. So yeah, that's how I see them, because they're each are very childlike. Because even the leader is kind of like like, yeah, they're all, even Eyeball is very. She's just trying, even though she wanted to kill Steven, they're all just like little kids in a way, taking orders from their yellow diamond. So
She's so freaky looking. Why would they put the gem in her eye? Why would the gem be
it's a
her
cool
eye?
design though, because I mean, it makes them all unique. Like, it makes them different.
No, just put it on her back or something. That's gross.
Because that's what I was thinking. Like, oh, maybe she'll come back to Earth and maybe join the team. That's a good way to separate her, because her gem is actually on her eye. So. And they can call her Eyeball or Ruby or whatever, because Garnet would be, Garnet the whole time. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of the Rubies did join the team. I mean, or came back to Earth somehow. Because, I mean, it would, and then even those Rubies went to go fuse with other gems. I think that would be interesting, because I don't think Sapphire and Ruby are going to form with anyone else separately. So
But
I'm
it would be
excited.
the same anyway, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it wouldn't.
No, it would be different. It would be different, because it'd just be themselves. Like.
So it's like Garnet plus something, and then Ruby Sapphire plus something else, like two different situations.
Yeah, so it'd be like if Ruby just formed with Pearl, it'd be whatever that would be, or like, which I think would more be probably like Sapphire and Pearl, but I think I think it would be whatever that case. But I really did enjoy this season. I like you were talking like the breather with the little character episodes. Like, we got to see Kiki Pizza Delivery Service. That was a character that we kind of knew a little bit about, but we got more of an introduction to her. I didn't even know she was a twin to the other sister. I thought she was more like, I don't know, I wasn't really sure what she was. But and then Restaurant Wars, a lot more character episodes of Greg. I'm glad that Pearl and Greg have their own little reunion now. Like, they're actually like getting along now. That was a long time coming, and I'm glad it finally worked out between them, because they did they do have a lot in common, and I guess that the thing that places what they have in common is Rose, so, and that love for Rose. So I'm excited. I really did. Yeah, I like this.
I was actually wondering if Pearl would like fall for Greg now or something.
Nah. Nah, I think that'd be interesting, but I think they it probably reminds me of like a husband and then a friend and then like that wife dies and then like they didn't like it's very much like that. And now they're just kind of like, because they were never friends before. Maybe it would get to that point and they'd fall in love, but I don't think so. I think they're just gonna be better friends because I don't know.
I just want to see more of their relationship because after the Mr. Greg episode, we didn't really get anything else on that, and then it just like Mr. Greg was early in the season, wasn't it?
Early in the summer thing.
Summer of Steven, yeah. So I don't know. I want more of that. I thought, but Into Deep was just a week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just a whole week.
So yeah, Mr. Greg is fairly early in the season. So I want to see more of that relationship, and I feel like we're getting to the point where it's almost hard to balance the episodes in Beach City and then the plot-driven episodes, because I want the plot-driven episodes, but then I also want more on like Beach City, and it's like you can't do both.
Yeah,
like,
because they're both so far from each other at this point now. Because those people at Beach City have no idea what's happening with like the main plot with the gyms and the cluster and stuff like that. So unless those characters like a Connie or like you could even say like Lars and Sadie, they've been those are pretty much the only characters of Beach City. Well, Connie's not even from Beach City, but like the only characters that like know what's happening within like the castle in some way. Like Sadie and oh my god, what's his name? Lars, not really, but they were stuck on that gym island for a little bit, so they have some sort of clue to what's happening.
I think well, not everyone, but some of them kind of know. Like they're like superheroes in a way or something.
Yeah.
They go on missions. They know they do something at least.
But some of them just know more than others. And I want to like, and speaking of like Sadie and Lars, I would want them to be more of like into the fighting aspect of it, because I think they could, because they did a lot on that island episode, and they're really much the only friends Steven has in Beach City. I mean, you could argue like the cool kids, but like I mean, they don't really do it. They're not really a part of like the gym storyline. They're just more part of the Beach City storyline.
I definitely say that Lars and Sadie are more main characters than the cool kids, pretty much. Yeah. So if I don't really think they'll be getting involved with the gym stuff, but if they were to get involved with the gym stuff, it would probably be them before like the cool kids.
Yeah, it'd make more sense for them before like an Onion or something like.
Onion would just kill everyone. He's too OP. But a few things that I didn't really get to say earlier. I didn't want to interrupt you, but we were talking about Bismuth, and I saw this on the Steven Universe wiki, and someone was saying, not wiki, the Reddit, someone was saying that the shattering a gem is actually worse than killing them, because if you shatter them, they're still conscious. They're just broken into pieces. So
wait, can you kill a gem?
I'm not sure, but you remember the cluster? Those are just like gem shards, and like all these lost thoughts and everything. All these people are lost and stuff. So they said that shattering would be worse than killing someone, because you would still be alive, but your mind would just be scattered everywhere. And another thing that I wanted to bring up was that you were thinking like Bismuth or Jasper might join the team, but don't you think we're getting to the point where there's almost too many gems that are getting focused, or maybe too many members on the team? Because we have Garnet, Amethyst, Pearl, Steven, Peridot, and that's the crystal gems right now.
Yeah.
Lapis hasn't officially joined, but she's probably going to join eventually. And then a lot of people think Jasper's going to join, because Jasper's been getting like focus here and there and throughout this entire season. So we have those people. And then I don't know about Bismuth. I don't really like Bismuth, so I was like, I don't want Bismuth joining, but that's like, what, 7 people or something?
Yeah, well, I think, as of right now, if I'm not wrong, I think Season 4 is supposedly the final season of Steven Universe, unless I'm wrong.
No, Seasons 4 and 5 were announced.
Oh, they renewed 5? Okay.
Yeah, it was, I think Seasons 3, 4, and 5 were all announced together.
Oh, okay.
And if you remember, Season 1 was like 52 episodes or something.
Yeah.
Season 2 was that as well. And then
it was 26 episodes, Season 2.
Yeah, they're splitting it up now, because I think Season 3 and Season 4 might have
Season 3 was
together.
25 episodes, And I don't know. It doesn't say for the wiki how long season 4 will be.
I feel like the show wouldn't get canceled. I feel like if anything, the show would go out on its own terms.
Yeah. I think Rebecca Sugar would definitely want to end it whenever she feels comfortable with it. I still think there's a lot to talk about because we still have to go through each of the diamonds. So with the diamonds that are still alive, like I feel like we have to get some type of introduction to them.
It would suck if we were just like in the Yellow Diamond arc for like 3 seasons, and then they finally go defeat Yellow Diamond in like season 5 or something. Just like, how much of the show is left?
Yeah, because I'm gonna just assume because of the episode with Centipedal that White Diamond is the biggest diamond of them all. I'm gonna just make that assumption that she's the most powerful one because we haven't seen her, and she seems to be the one that's corrupting the gems, if that's any indication to that. But
well, her drawings didn't have any color; it was just black.
No, it was white diamonds because I know it was like black. The outline was paper. Black, but the paper was white, and I think she was trying to signify white diamond. Because the paper was already white, and then she drew diamonds, but it just because it was black, like that's how she made it to be shown, you know.
I believe Peridot said who said this? Peridot or Jasper? I think it was Peridot. There are no corrupted gems on Homeworld.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, you know, they do this a lot in like different like war movies, or like they kind of kill off everyone that's left to make it seem like it's either bigger, like she did something crazier, or they didn't want as much evidence around. So I feel like that could always, because it's when she draws the thing, it's a white light and it's also sound. So it makes me think that like that White Diamond is the one, like is the leader of the, or if not the leader, but the most powerful diamond of them all. Like maybe Pink Diamond was that before Rose Quartz shattered her, but I definitely think White Diamond was the one, is the one on top.
It could be some sort of like war weapon or like a reference to like real life or something where they just use like this big weapon to like end the war. But I don't think the corruption thing ended the war. Right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what ended the war. I think that's really unclear. On like how.
Wait, who won?
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think the Crystal Gems technically won because the Earth is still there, but. Yeah, I need more flash. I can't wait till the episode, the flashback, where we actually see Rose shatter Pink Diamond. I know that's going to be an episode.
I think Rose shattering Pink Diamond might have ended the war. It's just like, whoa, she killed a diamond. We got to get out of here.
I don't think so, because how Jasper was acting, I think she was pretty mad. I think a lot of those gems were pretty mad, and I don't like. Let's say they shattered Rose Quartz, Garnet and Pearl wouldn't just stop fighting. Like, I'm pretty sure they go crazy, yeah. So I really don't know what ended the war. That's a good question. They don't really talk about like, they just say they won, but they don't really say how they won. I think Pink Diamond being shattered had a bit to do with it, but I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know.
I hate when shows do this. Like they'll introduce something super early, and then towards the end we finally get the flashback. But we've been getting like bits and pieces throughout the entire show.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would hope that Steven Universe goes out on its own terms. I know the regular show creator said that they'll continue the show as long as Cartoon Network allows them for his show personally. So I don't know. And then we have stuff like Adventure Time. Adventure Time's been going on since forever now, but then that's gonna end. And then even the creator, like, I don't think he left the show, but he like stepped down from his high position in the show. But I had some other opinions that I didn't really go through. I thought the cluster plot line was built up too much for the way that it ended. Like, I expected the cluster to be like this big threat, but it's just these gem shards that were shattered and confused, and then Steven brought them together.
Yeah, I agree with you because it ended right when the season started, so it was kind of, they really kind of got that out of the way with. I mean, I'm content with it. I think it's a cool way. I think it was weird because it was so early in the season too. I mean, it was season 3, but into like this season, it was so early when they like defeated it. But I think the build up was pretty cool though. I'm pretty content with it. I
I
think
mean,
it's weird though. I do agree. It's weird way how they kind of fix that, and I feel like that might come back. I don't know if they're gonna all be forming gyms and pop out the ground. I'm not sure how that's gonna. Like it's because they're supposed to like find each other and connect with each other. That's what Steven's whole thing. But yeah, I'm interested with them. I feel like that cluster's gonna come back later, but I don't exactly know how. So
I thought it was going to come back in the form of Jasper falling into the cluster and like using that, like fusing with the gems or the shards or whatever. But Jasper apparently fell into the ocean.
yeah, just into the water. Yeah,
That's what happened. I mean, they ended this plot in like 1 or 2 episodes, and all the hype that it got. It's like, we're building this drill, and they built the drill longer than the cluster was in the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's whatever. I just thought like in too deep. I was like, I thought we were gonna cover something heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that heavy. I hate to say this, but as the show goes on, it gets more plot heavy, and it almost feels like the episodes in Beach City are like filler in a way, because they don't really affect the main plot.
I definitely kind of agree. I think they realize that too. That's why these episodes are more character driven when they go back to Beach City, because they're probably like, oh, let's build the world at least more. Because it's weird. They're cool because you mentioned this earlier. They're cool, kind of making it more light, because it'd be a lot of heavy story. Then we get to this, and they do have their little story aspects into it. Like maybe Steven gets a new power, or like a character gets more of a backstory. But yeah, it does feel kind of like filler. But I think it's just like a show like this with so many episodes and like how it flows. I think it's just how it has to happen.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not filler, but I mean, they're probably going to keep up with it. It's going to be canon, but it just feels like filler because it's so separated from the action and the story-driven plots.
Yeah. Definitely.
I thought Lapis and Peridot were great together in this season. Funny scenes all around.
Yeah, okay, I was surprised that they, especially that episode or Beta, I was so surprised that they got along so well. Like they were kind of like a little married couple, like especially when like the rubies were going to the moon and then Peridot was just kind of holding on the lapis, just like, we're just gonna stay here. Like, and so I really did. Yeah, I was surprised they connected so well. I don't know why it worked out that way, but I'm glad it did.
I'm kind of glad they did it like fast, and not really fast, but they just did it instead of like spending an episode on it.
Yeah, like showing us. Yeah,
we don't need an episode for everything, and it's just like, Lapis and Peridot have been living with each other for a little bit. That's a thing, and they've gotten closer. We don't really need to see it. It works.
Yeah, because we knew about the barn mates episode when they like decided to live together. So I'm glad it's on a positive uprise. Because even when Amethyst was walking there, she was like, it's gonna be a mess, and then they turned the barn into a giant art show, and they're just kind of like watching that Gravity Falls rip-off TV show. So,
what was it called? Meat Morph?
Oh yeah, Meat Morph. That's what their art is called.
Because they didn't know the word for art.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought this season was amazing. Compared to other seasons, we had a lot more of the good plot-driven episodes, or episodes that just made you jump out of your seat. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, great episode all around, honestly.
Did you want to go into the favorite episodes now?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Do you have yours out right now? You can start first.